Should probably film out here more often at this time because nobody's outside and it's comfortable out here. There's some mosquitoes out here, but other than that, it's pretty good. I wanted to talk about the world, you know. Uh, the way that it is now with social media and things like that, it's pretty easy to say disgusting things and have the whole world hear them and then the whole world repeat what you've said. It's pretty easy to lead this world into very disgusting ways, into cheating and stealing and killing and profanity. It's easy to do that, you know, and you can tattoo yourself up and dress however you want to dress and be whoever you want to be and say whatever you want to say with a megaphone that is amplified 10 times infinity, times 10,000 on top of infinity. And so that's the type of world that we live in. And it really is doing, I think, an incredible amount of severe, irreparable, irreversible damage. Because love matters. And there is no love in getting drunk or doing drugs or hurting each other or being dramatic or any of those cruel, cold, shallow, heartless things that the masses of people enjoy doing nowadays. A lot of new music that comes out that gets radio airplay, it's some of the most vulgar stuff you'll ever hear, you know. And that's just not good. And I hope one day someone clears that airway up. I really do. I hope they put music up there that actually deserves to be up there. Music on the radio that deserves to be on the radio. Clean it up a little bit. Clean it up a lot of it. But you have these influencers, so-called influencers, who just push whatever they want to push, and everyone just eats it up. And it's a given. It's a genie that's out of the bottle and you can't put it back in. You know, that's just the way it's going to be. So the only power we have to fix that is to just spread love, spread manners, chivalry, civilized behavior, intelligence, knowledge, wisdom, to spread acts of kindness, warmth, to do things like that on a large platform so that people see more of that. Because another thing that this world does is it lowers its standards so people can learn easier. It shouldn't do that. And that's just my opinion. And the reason I feel that way is because when you lower your standards, the standards are lowered. It's just that simple. And then you have people who aren't learning the full words and the full sentences, and they're being dumbed down, and they're not as intelligent as they could have been. And they could still become that intelligent. I firmly believe that every individual is in almost complete and utter control of their own destiny where they end up. I really do. I know that pain and weight and boredom is hard to handle, and I know that some of us kind of go off the rails. But that is such is life. If only we could make it easier. I do believe the more pain you go through, the easier it is to see, though, you know. That's how I feel about the whole thing, you know. I had a breakthrough tonight, and love really is the answer. As cliche or stupid or crazy as that might sound to you, without that, you don't have anything. There's no stability without love. There's no long-lasting joy. You're always chasing something. You're always in need of something when you don't have love. You're constantly bouncing between a bunch of different personalities. You're constantly trying to be this, trying to be that, trying to get this amount of attention, trying to fill the void with lust and cruelty and sadistic behavior, when all you need is love. Because if you had love, none of those things would matter to you. And not only that, but you would also be ashamed of yourself for doing those things. Because love is like a soft piano song, you know? It makes you feel bad about what you've done. And that's okay. And I think maybe some people have a hard time understanding responsibility. But to me, responsibility was a relief. To know that I couldn't blame anybody else. It wasn't anyone else's fault. No one else was taking control of my life. It was me. I did what I did. And that actually made me feel better. You know? Sometimes I feel like this world will never really be good again. Because, like I said, the genie is just out of the bottle. You have billions of people on this planet that can say whatever they want, whenever they want to say it. And billions of everyone else on the planet is going to hear what they said. I mean, everyone has that amount of power. You cannot go back to a time that is good in the way it used to be. It would be a war to do so. But nothing is impossible. So maybe it's possible. But I just think social media is just ripping this world apart. I think it's ripping people apart. And I've held this opinion for a little while now, and I kept it to myself. But there's no use in keeping things to yourself, to be honest. And you're probably never going to hear me say that again. But right now, you're getting a little bit more than I usually give. Because I firmly believe that love is the most important thing in this world. And that it's probably the only thing that's actually real. You know? Our imaginations play with the darkness and make funny shapes out of it. Maybe all we need is light to show us that none of it's real. And maybe light is love. Maybe love teaches us things, you know? Seems like it does. Think about how special that is. It never really goes away, no matter what happens. Love itself is an unconditional thing. I know people have standards, but that love is always kind of there. That's what I've been thinking about tonight. There's a good song called So Far Away by Stained. And it's interesting because the first time I ever really heard it, one of the first times, my body had a reaction to it as if I knew what the lyrics were about before I ever even knew what the lyrics actually were. And when I looked at the lyrics, I realized that that's exactly how I felt when I heard the song. Almost as if I had heard it in a past life, which would probably be impossible because it's not that old of a song. But maybe nothing's impossible, like I said. But little things like that make you wonder, how did I know what the song was about, Why did it make me have that feeling when I didn't even know what the song was about, How would I feel that way? Questions that I have. You know why I make those pray videos? Because I feel like it's just the right thing to do. And that's why. You might not like who I talk about, but that's the whole point. It's the whole point. It can be filled with beautiful dreams and a wondrous imagination, and you can make it all come true. You really can, with hard work and other things. Sometimes people get lucky, they don't even have to work too hard, which is great, to be honest. I just like feeling like I really earned something, But life can also be filled with extreme amounts of frustration that just last a long time, and arguments and heated debates and things like that. And it's always a rough patch at one point or another that's usually filled with negative emotions like anger and sadness or depression or fear or whatever. And it always feels like it's never going to end. It always feels like it's the first time and it's never going to end. But it's not the first time. It always ends. And you always have a much longer time of joy in between those moments. And every time something bad happens, something good always happens after it. You have to think of it that way. And sometimes it feels like it's in vain, and, your brain plays tricks on you. That is really all I can say. Or it doesn't. I mean, either way, this is life, and the world is actually a big place, after all. And it's a big world, after all. And life is actually not too short. It's long enough. And a lot can happen. And you can meet a lot of people. And you can go to a lot of places. And you can attain a lot of things. You can see whatever you want to see, and smell whatever you want to smell, and taste whatever you want to taste, and touch whatever you want to touch in this world. And that's a special thing. And your feet can touch the ground, and you're alive, and you're walking. I'm not going to get religious about anything, but, that's a gift. And, no, I can't really think of anything else to really talk about. So I guess I'll just end the video here. I will say, though, there's a good song. There's a song called Dirty Paws of Monsters and Men. And it's a good song. And it reminds me of all kinds of beautiful things. And I suggest that you listen to that song because I like it. And maybe you'll like it. Anyways, I love you guys. And I will see you guys in the next video. And leave a comment letting me know if you think I can take over the world. Do you think I can do that? Because I think I can. But I want to know if you guys think I can, because that's kind of all that matters when you're taking over the world. Do other people think you can do it? So leave a comment. And my social media should be in the description down below. I'll be back in a flash. Amen.